It was in the Middle Ages back in Northern Europe that the party really got started with those world famous party animals, monks. Alright mate. Oi oi. Well, aren't we looking a bit dapper, eh? And, if my snout isn't mistaken, we've slapped on a bit of the posh eau de cologne round our chops and all. Very flash, mate. Someone's on their way out for a few frothy pints of grog down the old cock and ball then. You lucky toe rag. You know what, mate? You never know what might happen. It was a thirst for a sup of beer that led to the very founding of America. The pilgrim forefathers bobbing around in the Atlantic in a Mayflower only stopped off at Plymouth Rock in 1612 because they were running low on supplies, and one of them wrote in his diary that it was lack of beer that was the biggest problem for him. You see, if you had a right Jeff Erstone back then, water supplies on board and on land were so rank, the old golden brewskis were usually the safer option. Hey, do you know those green lights are for motor vehicles, clown boy? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Oh, sorry, mate. Anyway, the very first blokes to ever brew up a tasty beer weren't the Yanks. They were the Sumerians, way down in Mesopotamia in around 6000 BC. Now, I don't get many jobs south of the Euphrates these days, mate, but I do know that clever lot also invented the wheel and written language, so I think they deserved a few pints, don't you? They mixed barley with water, crumbled in some baked bread to make a mash, and then strained it out in a very early fermenting process. They even had their own goddess of brewing called Ninkasi. They wrote her a hymn saying this divine drink made them feel exhilarated, wonderful and blissful. Yeah, very poetic. But no mention of the old noggin next morning though, eh mate? But listen, when the Babylonians took over Mesopotamia, they could have started up their own bar chains because they had 20 different varieties of beer on the go. They'd sit around in groups drinking from big kegs of the stuff with 40-inch metal straws. The wealthy blokes even had golden ones. This was a serious business in their culture. If someone brewed up a bad batch of booze, they were punished by being drowned in their own supply. Mind you, I can't think of worse ways to go, eh? But get this, in one of the first law codes ever written down, King Hammurabi decreed that every single worker in Babylon would have 3.5 pints of beer a day, while the high priests would get nearly 9. Nice work if you can get it, eh? Hey, get your smelly flea bag off the road. You see, for centuries, beer was also seen as a good calorie-filled source for your working geezer to get through the day. It was only later that it became the social lubricant to chat up Big Rita behind the bar. It was in the Middle Ages back in Northern Europe that the party really got started with those world famous party animals, monks. The brethren fancied a nutritious drink to get through their belly-aching bouts of holy fasting. And, as in most situations in life, beer was the answer. They were the first bunch to really get to grips with the science of this noble art when they started brewing up the devil's buttermilk with a special ingredient to give it a lovely taste. The cone-shaped flowers of the humulus lupulus plant, known to you and me as hops. They started cranking out this top-quality hooch in vast quantities for cash, turning some monasteries into slick, hard-working breweries in the process. And during their fasts, some monks were allowed to gulp down up to 5 litres a day of the nectar. Yeah, drunk as a monk, eh? Classic. Where did you say you were going again, mate?
Subscribe here, and in the upcoming weeks, the talking, knowledgeable Badger will explain to you when we first started using money, who built Stonehenge, and who invented plastic surgery. So do it.